be this way? It has to be straight up and down.
Yeah, that's how people see me around. There you go. See, I'm really not in the.
Okay. Yeah, you're not in there.
I don't know if you care, but I care.
You care what, Pat?
I'm trying to ride my solo cross country.
A
that's
solo
pretty
is crazy.
Yeah.
It's like you was by yourself.
By himself. The whole
When
time.
you say cross country, is that a literal thing?
I flew to Tupelo, through the Corinth, Tennessee, and then I flew back to
Current Mississippi or current?
Mississippi. Thank you.
Yeah, like you went somewhere.
That's crazy.
Went somewhere else there. So here's the question. The question is. The question is, how do married couples start out so in love with each other? This is the world. Like, I love him, I love her, and it's like, oh my God, I can't get enough of them. They have children, which means they had to come together a couple of times,
Sure.
especially.
Sure.
And then 10 years later, they get divorced, and they hate the ground that their spouse walks on, or their ex-spouse walk on. Like, how do you go from, this is my world, and I love you so much, and oh my God, I can't do without you, to the point where you hate.
They breathe the same air.
How do you get to that point? How do you think couples get to that point? That's the question. How do you think couples get to that point? Anybody can answer.
Is it because the spouse is changing within themselves?
Could be. I don't know.
Character develops. You go through stages of life. Parents may be getting sick. Stuff is happening. So, is it like a change in the person that makes them
Hate the person that
yeah.
they.
Or, situations happen and then it could ultimately affect the person mentally,
Gotcha.
physically.
I would like to piggyback off of what Jada said because I actually think I would agree with some of that. I think you walk into it thinking it's gonna be one thing, you're not prepared for it to change. You know what I mean? You're not prepared, so it's like you go through your whole. In your mind, what you have today is what you always gonna have, and
It's not like
it ain't like that because we change it every day, whether you want to or not. Life changes every day. Things come up. You can't predict certain things. So yeah, these expectations that consistent unmet expectations.
Consistent unmet expectations. Consistent. So, but is the expectation that's unmet because there's no real community? So my other friend who I asked the question, he said there's a foundation that's not built right. That's the first and foremost, that you're building this marriage on sand, and you're not building this marriage on rocks or a firm foundation. And so when you add children, parents, change, time, everything happens.
Yeah.
So I get you, and I'm gonna say this too. I'm gonna add to that. The solution, I think one of the solutions may be for the change is, and we talk about it all the time, and it is, I think, number one, finances number two, this is number one, communication. As I'm changing, I'm not communicating, or we're not communicating, so I don't see the change that's happening, because I'm not communicating with you, I'm not changing with you.
Yeah.
And so I still have this same expectation beforehand, and now it becomes consistent, unmet expectation. But now you always like popcorn. Like, when did you stop liking popcorn?
Yeah.
I always buy you popcorn. Yeah, but if you see I only eat a little bit and I throw the rest away. I'm like, yeah, I used to get mad because you used to always throw the popcorn away. I'm trying to figure out what's going on. Well, we're not communicating that I can't do. I saw the video, dude said, when you get older, everything upsets your stomach. You know what I'm saying? And it's true. Like, I used to eat certain things.
I don't see the popcorn upset. I don't see your feet balled up in the bathroom. I don't see it.
I got to. You ain't got.
Yeah, it's different. But I was gonna say too, with that unmet expectation, that comes along with not communicating, because I didn't realize that you had something else in mind. So it ties in together.
So I agree
wait. I got one more thing too.
Go ahead.
So now this is something that I have been like pondering or reflecting. Sometimes you can stop liking a person because you may not know how to handle, you may not know how, you don't have a firm foundation as a child of processing failed disappointments. So then it'll show up in a relationship. Because now my way of communicating to you that I don't like you is to just be mean to you or to hate you. When it's like, wait a minute, before we got to the hate, why do we got to go to that extreme that you hate that I breathe with? Used to you couldn't live without me. Yeah. I became, it's like you go from being breathtaking to you take my breath away.
That's still a good thing.
Oh, it is? Okay.
I thought it was. I thought it was. Because
I can't stand you breathing my breath.
Right. You
that's true.
Yeah.
Sure.
It's okay. All right. You went to Central.
Oh.
So.
Wow.
Yeah.
Hey. Wow. I'm not an alum of Central, but my family went to Central. So.
I'm sorry.
Come on.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
But here's the thing, though.
Family.
All the Central girls really love a Westwood man. So I'm just saying.
Wow.
So list with that
it's
is how do they get to the point? So how do they get to the point of hating the ground that they don't like to hear their voice? When at one point, his voice sound like Barry White and her voice sound like Michelle, but never mind. And so it get to a point where I don't like them. I hate them.
Yeah.
Can you ever get to, like, how does it get to that point? I don't think it should ever get to that point. Yeah. And if it gets to that point, did they really know who they were in the first place?
I saw something. You all know who Tabitha Brown is and her husband, like them. And they were on a podcast and explaining like they went through a very hard time of hating each other.
Wow.
Where they almost got a divorce. And but I guess they worked through it and everything. Yeah. But I was like, wow, it's funny. It's not funny, but you see that people are honest about that because you have this view on marriages and like it's supposed to be rainbow and sunshine the whole entire time, and it is not. Yeah. So it's kind of like, how do you get to that point though? Of
I can say
hating. They were almost at a divorce.
I can almost bet you that someone, first of all, they stopped talking, and the expectation was that it just went kaput. Like, you not meeting anything, you not trying. Like, once you check out, that's it. Yeah. And then the other thing too is the outside factor is if you include somebody else in on it, it's like now I really can hate you now because my attention is on somebody else.
Gotcha.
That is a possibility.
I have two thoughts. So the first one is to hate somebody. I think your love is unhealthy.
Gotcha.
To get to a point where it's a hate. So there's a I don't know that it's healthy for anyone to say that somebody is my world.
Okay.
Another human.
Gotcha.
I don't know that that's healthy anyway.
Correct.
Like, so if that is the truth, and that's how you feel, and that's your reality, then when they stop becoming your world, it would make sense that it would go to the extreme of hate. Because you're already living in an unhealthy extreme anyway. So I don't really know how there's no middle ground. You had no middle ground to begin with. Your best was too much. So now when it dips, it's like, if I ever get from this high, it's got to go all the way to the other end because I don't know what balance is.
That pendulum swing.
I think that, and I also think like with the communication part, I agree. When you get to that point, you just stop. You just stop doing stuff. You stop communicating, stop doing all that. And I think the reason we stop communicating is we get comfortable. Yeah. So you stop getting curious. So you stop communicating.
Because that will cut off communication. Like
you just, I already know. I already know. And it's like and I think I don't know. I think I'll speak for myself as a woman. I will not speak for women, but it's ideal to get to a point where you have to stop, where you can just kind of relax. It's like, okay, I can relax. I found my person. I can relax. But if you relax too much, you been lost that person because you don't
Correct.
know them no more. So
Correct.
it's like it's a different type of work. It's like we work to get them, and then you got to work to keep them, and you do have to work.
You do have to work.
And it's the work is not. I think most of the work is just staying curious
Yeah.
about them. Stop. Don't assume. Ask questions. I was talking to Todd, as my husband's name, him last night. I asked him a question. And I said something about like, how can I, what can I do to improve on certain things? And he told me. I said, okay. And then about 2 minutes later, I did what he said. He said, that's what I'm talking about. I said, okay, cool. Oh, so that's what you want? I got it.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. But I needed to hear that.
Yeah.
And then I acted on it pretty quickly.
That's it right
You know
there.
what I'm saying? Because I want to stay curious about him.
Not only you act on it, you didn't get an attitude when he told you.
No, I didn't. I felt
I think
away.
that becomes a
Right,
scary
let's come
part.
on.
I felt
No,
away
come
now.
on.
I felt away.
So I don't understand why y'all. That's a whole different subject.
Yes, it is.
So-
because it is real.
right.
We know where that was going.
I'm saying.
Right. So that's good. That's good. All right. So we're gonna end right there. So because we want to keep it short.
6 minutes.
6 minutes.
Yeah.
May 10, but we shoot for 6.
Sure.
All right. So when is it? What's Monday? This Monday we'll be going live on our YouTube channel. His wife, her husband. Also, if you really want some really good, great content, go to Unlearned Podcast by our friend who's with us now, Ruth Abigail Smith. Unlearned.
Gardner.
Ruth Abigail Gardner. My fault, bro. Unlearned Podcast. We'll see y'all next Saturday, 3 p.m. Make sure y'all join in. All right.
Slip it up.
Yeah.
Love it. Very cool.